Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not as Ian as it gets, and you're watching me pug my way through the rest of Dragonflight Season 3 on a Red Paladin. Yes, again, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But let me first explain what this series is going to be. So usually when you're recruiting for Mythic Plus, you might take into consideration a person's item level, a person's rating, a person's, raid clears if they don't have any rating from M+, or something like that, or you'll take into consideration their mains rating, stuff like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deliberately pick the person with the lowest possible rating out of the people that apply. So for this series, I can only host my own keys, and I'm only going to really pick the lowest rating that applies. Of course, if only one person applies, I'm just going to take that one person no matter their rating. But the point of this is to basically see just how rough it can get when you have people that are still learning the dungeons, and also just how much fun you can have with people that seem to be new but are actually really good. Now, the reason I'm playing Red Paladin again, even though I have a Red Paladin series already on the channel, first of all, that was in Season 2. Second of all, this is kind of a comfort pick, and I wanted a comfort pick after pushing myself in the Prod Paladin series and after playing a caster, and not just any caster, playing Fire Mage, which I am first of all bad at, second of all it's really hell to run that in pugs, especially when you don't go into the high enough keys to be actually useful with your prio damage. So after going through all of that, I kind of just want to chill a bit, so I'm going to play a Red Paladin, and we'll see how it goes. I also think I can contribute the most as a Red Paladin. There's just a lot of utility I have, a lot of things that can protect, save people, stuff like that. Using externals is a big deal. If I have a 1-minute Blessing of Sacrifice that can save someone's life, that could be the difference between timing a key and not timing a key in certain runs. So hopefully I can be of use to my team, especially when people with low rating end up actually being new and not just alts, and they need that little bit of help that I can provide as a Red Paladin. I can also off heal like crazy, so I think there's a lot of value in me picking Red Paladin. Plus they kind of spank right now, so that's pretty good. Without further ado, we're going to start with a human level 1 Red Paladin. I kind of want to start in Northshire Valley because I'm tired of Exile's Reach. I really don't like Exile's Reach. Some of the same rules from my other series will apply. I cannot send myself any gold until I'm level 70, and I'm just going to buy bags off the auction house as I level. Emboldened by the return of Varian Rin, who's currently dead in the current timeline, so that's, I guess he's back. Somehow Emperor Rin has returned. Anyway, one thing that I will be doing is using my heirlooms, and there was something else that I wanted to say, but I forgot. Hopefully I remember what it is. But yeah, since I'm talking about rules, the basic rules are that I cannot group with people I already know. I can't continue playing with a group after I've done a dungeon with them. And it used to be that I had to hit a certain rating and clear all the 20s, but with this series, it's gonna last however long Season 3 lasts. So I may not actually have enough time to reach any sort of specific rating because I don't actually know what exactly the duration of Season 3 is at this point. There's several weeks after Plunderstorm comes out. I'm assuming it's gonna last about as long as Plunderstorm is, so I might have a good time, might get some decent rating or something like that, but for the most part I'm just gonna play and see what I end up with. And that's pretty much it for the rules. So basically I'm forced to pug. But another rule that I'm adding that's going to be different obviously from all the other series is the rule that I'm supposed to invite the lowest rating player that applies. Of course, if there's only a few players applying, I'm going to invite those few players, which is probably going to be the case early on in the runs, since nobody really cares about a brand spanking new level 70 paladin with no rating. But later on, when I see that I have a bunch of applicants, I'm going to actively pick the one with the lowest rating. And like I said, the point of it is basically to just have a little bit of fun. I thought it would be fun. Usually I pick people that have decent rating, even if they don't have great item level, because I value rating much more than I value item level. But here I'm just gonna kind of ignore item level and invite whoever has the lowest item, or not item level. Jesus, I'm getting flustered in my words because this hunter's shooting my enemies and I'm not sure. Oh, okay, never mind. I already know with this. I have ADHD if it wasn't apparent. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep inviting the lowest item level people. Not item level. Jesus, rating. Lad, focus. Get it together. So the way I'm going to do leveling as well is I'm going to show you how I get my ass to level 10 and do a dungeon, and then I'm going to show you a dungeon at level 20, then I'm going to show you a dungeon at level 30, 40, 50, so on and so forth. Right now, I don't even have a specialization, so I am using a one-hander and shield, but as soon as I'm level 10, I'm going to switch to Retribution, and I'm going to level as Retribution. That'll be consistent with the other series. I have to admit, this is a lot nicer. I don't know, at least for me, this is a lot nicer than whatchamacallit's Exile's Reach, because it's not so hand-holdy. It's like, here, have a quest, go kill 10 of these or whatever. And then I go and I kill 10 of those or whatever, and it's nice. And I don't have to wait for 7 hours of RP. I can just keep going and doing my thing. So you might be thinking, why human? Well, I'm glad you asked. First of all, this will to survive, stun removal, 3 minutes. kind of handy for a couple of the fights in this season. Primarily, I think of what's that thing called? Goliath in Waycrest Manor. It's kind of nice to remove that. Another thing is you get a versatility buff as your passive as a human. Of course, I say versatility, but it's just about every stat from all sources, so that's nice. So it sims fairly high. I think it's up there with Zendalari Troll. I think Dwarf sims the highest, but I'm not 100% sure. However, the issue with Dwarf is they're ugly. I don't like them, so I'm not gonna play a dwarf. And I also don't want to play a Draenei. I don't want to play a Lightforged Draenei either to use an allied race, so I'm starting at level 1. And just in general, I picked a race that doesn't look ugly to me. That's also kind of why I picked for Vladified in the previous 2-part video. I picked human because it was the least ugly race. I'm usually partial to elves, but human will have to do when no elves can be found. Can't play an elf paladin yet. I'm hoping that they make elf paladins a thing at some point. I mean, blood elves, yes, but alliance, of course. I would like to play a night elf paladin. That could be cool. Imagine a paladin pulls a sneaky on you, shadow melds on your ass, and that would be chicken nuggets arriving. I'll be right back. That would be Danny in the background, very excited for her nuggies. You want to say hi to people in the series?
Hello.
Okay, this is driving me insane. I need to turn on auto loot. Forgot about it. I was wondering what was weird about my auto looting thing. It wasn't even on. Yes, a good old fashioned questing. I don't remember when was the last time I actually quested my way to 70. I always have I make a character, just a random alt character that I'm not recording on or anything. And I start doing quests, right? I get to level 20 and then I can't anymore. I start queuing for dungeons because I give up. Maybe I'm impatient. Maybe I should do dungeons until I have a flying mount and then I can just go in, do quests much more quickly. Maybe that keeps my interest. I've been spoiled by how quick TBC dungeons are to level in. Wish I had consecration, at least some kind of AoE to use. The funny thing is I don't have a way to track my holy power right now because I don't have a specialization, so my WeakAuras aren't actually loading in. Maybe I should make a set of WeakAuras that are just for any, but no, it still requires a spec. I don't know. Or I just level through 10 levels of it and get on with my life. Greetings, William. Here is your kelp. Thank you for level 10. Now we can finally pick Retribution, and we're going to switch to a 2-hander, and we're going to go crack some skulls in TBC dungeons. We settled for a very simple transmog for the weapon, because I don't really have much choice at level 10. We're going to grab Divine Steed, just because I like to have a little bit of a movement speed option, I guess. And do I actually get... Yes, I get Templar's Verdict, so let's put that down there. Let's put the defensive up here. What else? We got Hammer of Wrath. We're going to put that on 5. Don't need the shield slam thing anymore, because I just don't have a shield. I'm going to grab Portal to Outland. We're not going to actually do this quest. There's no reason to. I don't want to actually go and quest there. We're just going to queue up as a DPS for Burning Crusade dungeons and hope for the best. Took no time at all. That was pretty dang quick. We're ready to take on our first dungeon, which is going to be the Blood Furnace. 3 quests, I'll take that. Yes, please. Basically, I'm going to show you a dungeon every 10 levels. So this is the first dungeon I do. Then when I hit level 20, I'm going to show you another dungeon with me at 20, so on, so forth, until I'm all done. The end of this video should be once I hit level 70. I might do some gearing up, preliminary gearing up in this video. It depends on how long it takes. It should basically be 7 dungeons, but let's say if a dungeon takes about 5 minutes to do, less than 10 or so, 15 minutes. I don't know how long it's actually going to be that I get to level 10. Let's say it'll be 45 minutes. I think that's a good enough episode without the gearing, so the gearing will probably be in episode number 2. There's not much I can do for AoE, really. I just kind of have to hit each of them individually, or I could just focus one down. It doesn't make a big difference. I have 1 ranged ability. My range is very limited because I don't have my talent for range yet. I do have my WeakAuras finally active now because I actually have a specialization, so it's showing me my holy power and my mana, along with a few abilities that I have so far. Later on, Blade of Justice will be here, and whatchamacallit, Final Verdict will be here, Divine Storm will be here, so on and so forth. As I fill out my abilities, my cooldowns will be underneath. It'll be nice and good, but I just need to get to level 70 or get a high enough level where I actually have all those cooldowns available. It's also going to show Divine Toll, but yeah, you get the idea. It's going to show my abilities, everything I need to function as a red paladin. I'm already hitting my R key, which is my interrupt. I don't actually have my interrupt talented yet, so it's very pointless, but I guess it's reflex. I see a cast bar. I just want to interrupt it. I also don't have 2 charges of Divine Steed, which also feels horrible. My only AoE right now is Consecration, and I'm now silenced, so I can't even use Consecration, so I can just walk up to them and auto attack them. The one thing I have going for me is the fact that I am level 10. So I just, by virtue of scaling, I do crap tons of damage in 2-shot enemies. As you can see, I'm doing significantly more damage than other people, not because I'm doing something very skillful, just because I'm level 10. So yeah, can't say I'm proud of it, but it does feel nice in a way. Doesn't feel nice to not have any AoEs though, and I'm silenced again, so I cannot use my one AoE, which is Consecration. I use my defensive here. I'm silenced again. I managed to drop a Consecration, but the tank decided to move over to a ranged enemy. I can't use Consecration for another 14 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. Oh, this is miserable. I forgot how shit it is to play a red paladin early on, although it's not much better to play a prot paladin either. I guess Holy's not too bad. Maybe I should have played Holy just for leveling. Although in most of my series I have so far always stayed the spec that I am going to play for that series, and for this series it's red paladin. Hopefully I don't get silenced here before I can drop my Consecration. That would be nice. Gonna wait for the tank to do his thing, see what he wants to actually group. I'm gonna accidentally pull that group over there, and I think Consecration over here might be a good bet. And I would just let Consecration do its little thing while I bonk him on the noggin with my pink sword of doom. I've been seduced. Does that mean I actually hit friendlies? No, I just kind of stand there. Okay, might as well call it a stun. My Consecration does such an insignificant damage, it feels like I shouldn't even really use it. Tell you what though, that Final Verdict definitely doesn't do insignificant damage. If I can reach the enemies in time at least. I just realized once I'm level 10, my Judgment actually gives me Holy Power. So I should have been using Final Verdict a bit more often than I have been. Oh well, I've gained 10 levels as a Paladin Mage or whatever the heck. Cool. That means I get Blade of... Never mind, I'm in combat, so I can't get Blade of Justice. But I will soon have Blade of Justice. I'm not going to waste the global here on Consecration because the boss is dying too fast. Consecration won't really do any meaningful damage. Now I have a 12-yard range on Blade of Justice. So that's going to be nice. I'm actually not that used to having Crusader Strikes and Blade of Justice at the same time, because you can see I want Blade of Justice to be on my one slot and I want Crusading Strikes, so I don't have Crusader Strike anymore. But I guess for leveling it's not that bad because I don't have to wait as much for Holy Power. This feels weird. I'm so used to playing a max level Paladin with all the talents that I feel like I'm, I don't know, gimped. I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna get stunned here probably. Nope. The Annihilator chose to target somebody else. This actually feels pretty nice now that I have multiple buttons to press each fight, although I still feel extremely slow. But I guess that doesn't really change as a paladin. Just tanks get a bit more better at grouping enemies, or the groups don't die instantly when you walk up to them, so that's a thing as well. And there we go. That's also level 12. This is going pretty quick. I'm going to grab another charge of the Divine Steed. I'm not going to use it here to get to this because it's kind of buggy, this little tunnel with the speed boost. If you have like a speed increasing effect, sometimes this buff, the speed increasing effect from the tunnel, just wears off randomly and you can't, like, you have to run regularly through the tunnel and it's not that great. So I just try not to use any movement speed effects. And that would be our first dungeon. We actually got 2 levels out of that. I'm quite happy about that. I'll see you once I'm level 20. Here's Auchenai and Auchenai dungeons. I was waiting for this. This is our level 20 dungeon. Been grinding just a few. I don't think I've done very many. I think I get like almost 2 levels per run. Sometimes 2, sometimes 1. Mostly 2, it feels like. Haven't really been keeping track of how many dungeons I've done. It feels pretty nice at this point. I have a bit of AoE. I should still be using Consecration, but I guess I'll stop having to use Consecration once I get, whatchamacallit, Consecrated Blades? Or what's the actual ability called? Or talent called? I don't know. I can't open the talents right now because of combat, so let me take a look here. What's it called? Something over here. There it is, Consecrated Blade. So when I use Blade of Justice, it'll just drop Consecration underneath the target. Until then, I'm kind of stuck using it either way. I'm gonna kick this because we also have our kick now, which is wonderful. I can actually keep some of these targets moving. I still don't really have any other AoE other than Divine Storm because I don't have Blessed Champion. Blessed Champion is a talent that makes your Blade of Justice, your Crusading Strikes, or Crusader Strike, or Templar Slash and Strike, or whatever the hell it's called. Makes all of those abilities, as well as Judgment, hit multiple targets. It's over here. There's 2 points in it. First it's 2, then it's 4 targets. So that's your cleave. That's what you're looking for as a red paladin. As far as using Divine Storm versus using Templar's Verdict, you pretty much always use Divine Storm as soon as you have 2 or more targets. Just the damage on it is just high enough to do that. 2 times 179 versus 345, 2 times 179 wins. So yeah, even here I would use Divine Storm, even though there's just 2 targets, which makes Red Paladin very, very simple, very efficient. As soon as there's more than a target, you can already switch to your... I'd call it AoE rotation, but basically you'll be using the exact same buttons as your single target rotation for the most part. You'll be using whatchamacallits, Divine Storm instead of Final Verdict or Templar's Verdict or whatever it is. I guess it's Templar's Verdict and then it turns into Final Verdict. Whatever. Let me just mark an arc His name's Narc. That's funny. It's already becoming a lot more enjoyable, even just having enough abilities to just keep using globals, because sometimes before I would get stuck where I just didn't have anything to cast, and that always feels bad when you're just sitting there not using globals. Here I didn't use Consecration because it just feels, it doesn't do much, right? Like it needs time to do any significant damage or to do its full damage, so it feels bad to use it when I could just drop, you know, a single target ability will do more damage than that whole Consecration, so it's worth the global. This boss sucks for ranged. Like anything that has to, well, not ranged, but anything that has to cast, it sucks to be a caster on this boss, because this reduces or increases casting time. So it doesn't actually affect your globals. It doesn't reduce your haste. It just increases casting time. So yeah, it sucks pretty bad. Luckily, it seems like we don't really have any casters. Even our healer is a monk, so you can just beat the shit out of it. But the druids are feral druids. We have one of those tanks that just picked up DK tanking, where they will death grip no matter what. The second they see an enemy, they just death grip right away, which I always find funny. There's not much reason to do that. Here I will use Consecration because I think we'll be sitting here for a while. Never mind, the tank decided to drop D&D and then run out of it. But I still get a lot of targets. I'm going to use a defensive just to make sure I'm safe. That was pretty nice. That was a nice pull. Good job, Narc. He was upset he couldn't death grip for no reason, so... Oh, Narc's not messing around. He's doing kicks too. It's very rare for me to see anyone kick anything in leveling dungeons, but Narc's been going at it, actually. That was his 4th kick. I just haven't seen the other ones. Very nice. I guess you could say he's renarkable. Sorry, that was horrible. Danny's in the other room, and she probably is cringing at me right now. Those are all the necromancers we need for the quest. It looks like we're gonna get a whole level out of this, which is very nice. We're gonna be 21 from just finishing the dungeon, and then we get to turn in some quests as well, which is always nice. It's weird to me to not have expurgation, because it's like the whole tier set is built around it this season, so hitting something and not leaving a dot on it feels weird. Also, do I have Greater Judgment? I guess I do have Greater Judgment. Should have been using that more. Oh well. There we go. That's a level up. Let's see, what do we get? Let's get Expurgation. Screw it. And I'm going to teleport out and teleport back in. It's faster than running all the way back. Even though there's a quest at the halfway of the dungeon, it makes more sense to go turn in the quest at the start and then just run through half the dungeon, than to run through half the dungeon, turn in one quest, and then run the other half. Narc is thinking the same thing. We got a couple of steed charges. We're up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. Trying to do my little jump at the end there before the buff runs out from the Divine Steed, so that I keep the movement speed while flying through the air. Little min-max shit, and then there goes the druid with his dash. Obviously, I've also changed my transmog because I got a little bit tired of the pink witch, because the weapon didn't really match, and this feels a lot more consistent. Like the weapon and the actual armor look consistent to me. That's not a pretty good look, honestly. It doesn't look too bad. I think I'm running Blade Ward on the weapon, and the weapon is actually, I think I just recently got the transmog for it in one of the other runs while I was leveling. It's the Axe of the Nexus Kings from Mana Tombs, I think, is the name of the dungeon. So it's quite nice. I think I might keep this one for a little while. I almost started to Hearthstone because I'm so used to M+ runs. But yeah, I'm hoping I get some of my key talents here in a little bit. I'm looking forward to Jurisdiction. It's been a bit of a pain in the ass to keep up with people and tanks. They'll run ahead and just keep dealing damage, and I can never reach. So having 20 yards extra range is pretty nice. And I'm thinking about, I think I actually will do that right now. I'm gonna grab the Seasoned Warhorse just to get 2 more extra seconds. You usually don't really grab this for M+. You usually go for the Fist of Justice to reduce the cooldown on your stun, because it's more useful to, you know, stop any high priority casts or anything like that. But for now, for leveling dungeons, I don't really use my Hammer of Justice all that much because things die too quickly. The stun is kind of wasted. So I may as well just switch to more movement speed, because then I can get the things, kill them more quickly, and move on. Speaking of moving on, I'll catch you in the level 30 dungeon. Here we are in the Black Morass.
Or more ass?
I've got all the ass I could ever want. I need to lose some weight. I'm sure that's what you meant. Anyway. We're at level 30. I would show you my talents, but I'm in combat, so I can't. Once I get a chance, I'll show you. But we've got some good stuff going right now. Got a decent bit of AoE. Still don't have Consecrated Blades, so I have to use Consecration. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've used it like 3 times because it's just not worth the global. You have to walk up to Medivh to start the whole portals showing up and everything. I'm just gonna go over to the portal. Hopefully we get out of combat, but there's usually a few like invisible or stealth jaguars that get pulled, and they move very slowly, so you have to sit there and wait for them. Tank doesn't seem to know that the El Jefe is here. Well, it's not an El Jefe, it's just a regular mob, but they're beefy, and I'm not exactly enjoying getting my ass whooped right now. At some point, the tank will realize that this is where he needs to go, and he needs to go to the portals. Hopefully. But I am a Ret Paladin, so I can also just kind of stand there and take it to the face. While I'm waiting for these to show up, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of any crocolisks in the area. Ah, there he is. I get the feeling that there's some sort of add-on that's stopping me from actually seeing the thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. The talents. It says interface action failed because of an add-on. Yeah, that would be a good clue. Oh, there's one Jaguar. The one thing I really hate about this dungeon, other than the fact that it takes 2 gears to finish, is the trees. I'm constantly looking through trees because I play zoomed out as hell. I hope the tank doesn't mind me engaging these enemies before he's there. I'm not at risk of dying, so he can't just catch up and kill these. And it's just the one enemy. It's not like I'm messing up his pack or pathing or anything like that. Ah, now I can look at talents. But yeah, this is what I'm going with. I went for the double 2 charges of judgment instead of the additional holy power, because I'm not really starving for holy power. It's more of a, I just want to hit multiple things, spread out that judgment debuff, or have the judgment debuff more often. My cooldown is quite long. Maybe it would be better to just switch to the blessed judgment, which makes it do holy power. Screw it, yeah, I'll do that. And I can't do that while my judgment is on cooldown apparently, so I'll try and not use judgment here when the mob gets low. Is this a boss? This is a boss. I'll use the quest item thingy because I think it does damage. I'm not sure though. Use wings, beat the bejesus out of this guy. Heck, I'll even drop a consecration because he'll be alive long enough, I think. Stun the assassin, not that I need to, but screw it. Okay, so can I change now? No, I can't. I didn't even get close to saving any of these judgment charges. It's whatever. You gotta wait a bunch until the next time the rift starts. The time reefed. Anyway, we're gonna apply these changes and just switch it to this because my only real source of AoE is Bladestorm? What? Divine Storm. I've been playing a bit of Arms Warrior. I've been leveling one just to try out arms. I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of arms. I think there's one thing that I would like. I would like arms with one change, and that would be if Sweeping Strikes was off the global cooldown. If Sweeping Strikes was off the global cooldown, I would actually like arms. But as it is right now, not so much. Hey, it's Theseus. I wonder how his ship is. This is really making us run around. We're spending more time running around than anything else. Oh yes, there's also a new transmog. I'm rocking this. I kind of like it. I dropped the helmet. I didn't want to use the helmet. Helmet's very pink, very, I don't know. It looks weird. And I kind of like this character the way he looks. He's growing on me, you know, like a tumor. I guess since it hasn't spawned yet, I may as well drop Consecration. The group makes quick work of these guys. Maybe I should switch to, I think I will switch to Crusader Aura just so I could actually speed us up while we run between the mobs. Retribution Aura doesn't do much here. It never really procs because nobody really gets hurt. The next one is a boss. Looking forward to that. Might actually survive long enough for me to hit him more than twice. Maybe somebody gets hurt enough here, so I'm going to switch to what is it called? Retribution Aura. No, it doesn't look like they will. So I'll just switch back once El Jefe is dead. Somebody also used, it looks like they used the quest item. Oh, what's this dome in the back? Priest swung wide. That is quite a way off the beaten path. It's happened to all of us. I've sent a fair few Final Reckonings off into the distance with the @cursor macro thingy. What I'm talking about is the macro. Let me just find it. This one. So it casts @cursor Final Reckoning. Final Reckoning is a zone that you put down. If you don't do the @cursor thing, it will actually just let you choose where it is. Like it'll show you the zone. If you do @cursor, it'll just cast it exactly where your cursor is right then and there. You don't have to click again. I like doing that. It takes a bit of getting used to so you don't accidentally drop it before you're ready with your mouse positioning, but you get used to it fairly quickly. You just kind of point it in the general direction of all the mobs you're hitting and it does the trick. I'm gonna switch back to Crusader Aura. By the way, if you're looking at these WeakAuras and you're thinking, those look kind of neat, first of all, what's wrong with you? Half of them are missing. Second of all, you can get them off the enemy community Discord. What's wrong with me? What, my jokes are dad jokes or what?
Yes.
I'm getting criticized here. I'm getting live feedback. And the feedback is, you're not f***ing funny, shut up. I guess you guys just get to watch me play then. I'll stop talking.
No, they will hate me for people watch your videos for your stupid commentary.
God damn. Tell us how you really feel. Final boss. Here we go. Gonna switch to Retribution Aura because we're not going to need Crusader Aura for the rest of this. We're done with the portals, just this boss. I'm going to bubble out of that stun. I don't feel like being stunned for 4 seconds. Does not sound fun to me. Oh, there's a dome from the priest now. Very nice. I kind of wanted to stand in the dome and then I got a face full of sand breath, which wasn't fun. but that's my fault, I guess. And I got a new belt, which is a nice upgrade from 16 to 89 item level. I'll take that. I'm saving all of these because I'm going to open them when I hit level 60, and I'm going to run back to the entrance so I can turn in the quest, and then I'll leave. But yeah, there's a dungeon at level, what was this, 30? I didn't even get a level up from that. That was pretty bad. But I had fun, and that's all that matters. As I record this 10 minutes ago, the second part of the weekend challenge has gone live, so I think I'm going to go watch that with Danny. You know what they say, another dungeon, another transmog. This time we're going with something a little bit more purplish. I still haven't unlocked the favorite transmogs that I have. I do have quite a few new talents. Usually how it goes when you have 10 talents more, you have quite a few new talents, yes. But I finally have the AoE talents that I really wanted, which makes judgments hit everything near the primary target as well as Blade of Justice, so long as they're close to each other, of course. So now I can actually do quite consistent AoE damage with the cleave from those two new talents. I'm just gonna quickly grab this rich adamantite deposit. I'm making like a little bit of gold while I level this character. Not that I really need it. I guess I kind of do, because I'm gonna try and spend that gold on crafting 447 gear as soon as I hit 70. I'll show you more about that probably in the next episode, but it's a really good way to gear up, and I think it's actually gonna stay a thing in season 4 unless they decide to change that a little bit, because it's actually super strong. You basically get to skip the starting of your gearing experience, and you can switch and go straight into 10s or something, and you can do quite well. Well, I guess next season those 10s are going to be 5s, maybe 4s, I don't know. If I understood the math correctly, they're supposed to be like 5s. It's going to get squished. I'm curious how that'll work. I'm going to kick this to make it group up with the rest of these enemies. Tank's trying to get a bit ahead of himself. Trying to? I don't think they're trying to, but I think they got a bit ahead of themselves. Anyway, I've been flying around Elven, killing rares and doing some quests while I wait for dungeons to pop. Been fun. Also been watching the 3-hour movie Danny and I made with Danny.
Which video are we talking about?
Not the homemade ones, the ones we made while you were still in Helsinki, the gaming one.
Right.
Yeah.
Gaming.
The only games one. What?
Mm-hmm.
Sus. Mad sus. I'm excited to get into like level 50 something territory so I can actually start getting some of these big talents like Wake of Ashes and Final Reckoning. That'll be pretty fun. I think I'll get Wake of Ashes sooner than Final Reckoning. Just by default, I think you get it sooner. I could check, but I would have to get out of combat. And this tank's actually pulling quite quickly. There we go. Ah, no, they're at the same like depth on the tree, so I could get one or the other, but I'm going to opt to get Wake of Ashes sooner, because Wake of Ashes is a 30-second cooldown, Final Reckoning is a minute-long cooldown, so I'll get one, then the other, which is 3 levels between them, so, or I guess 2 levels once I get one of them. Anyway, you get what I mean. I have a Divine Steed charge, so I'm just going to quickly grab this adamantite deposit, and then I can catch back up to the group in no time. Alright, I finally feel a bit like a paladin with this cleave that I have going on. I also have consecrated blades, as you can see. I am actually using consecration passively, which is always good. Yeah, you can see all the enemies being debuffed by Blade of Justice. Love it. Love to see it. Actually doing AoE now. It feels weird to open with Judgment, because the tier set basically is open with, whatchamacallit, Blade of Justice, so you put your expurgation dot on so that your Judgment does the extra damage. Hopefully nobody gets one shot. This boss has a tendency of one-shotting a random person. Didn't happen, but he did manage to summon his Add. I wonder if the Add gives EXP. It does. Nice. Nice little bonus bit of EXP. We got to level 41 from that. Pretty fun. I'm starting to get a little bit bored of the TBC dungeons, so I think I'm gonna... Ooh, but this tank is quick, and they want to queue for more. Screw it, we'll do more TBC dungeons. But yeah, we're leveling pretty quickly. Not ridiculously quickly or anything, but quick enough for me to be able to make a video pretty quickly, so I'm happy about that. I'll see you when I'm level 50. And yes, we are now in a Wrath of the Lich King dungeon. And this is actually a pretty good one. There's the quests in here are pretty fun. There's lots of mobs to kill, good EXP. You got of course, a new transmog rolling, because every 10 levels apparently I need a new transmog. Quite a few new talents, obviously, since I'm level 50 now instead of level 40 like I was last run. Or, well, last recorded run. I have been doing quite a bit of questing in the meantime, and actually I almost got so carried away with quests that I almost dinged 51, which I just did. We're gonna grab this. I don't even know what it does. It's some kind of passive, but I'm trying to get the Wake of Ashes, because that's going to be super fun to use. Very excited about that. Tank is snoozing a bit. I think he might be grabbing some quest items, which I probably should do too. Yes, things are moving up in the world of Vlad, in the definitely not world, because I'm close to getting a bunch of my cooldowns, and then it's going to be super fun to play. Just a few more levels and I'll have Divine Toll as well as Wake of Ashes. It's going to be awesome. We have our cleave ability. We have our cleave passives from like last run. Even at level 40 I already had my stuff, which has made it considerably more fun to actually do these dungeons, because I can actually do AoE other than Divine Storm. Oh, Ice Thorn. I'll take an Ice Thorn. Should have been using, so I'll use wings now, I guess. There's nothing that stays alive long enough for me to actually make use of wings. Maybe bosses, I guess, but other than that, nothing really. I'm gonna run ahead here because there's like little statuettes and things to grab that I only need a few of, so I may as well get ahead of the group and grab those. Is this Plunderstorm? Is this is this how it works? Just running around trying to grab loot. I guess while we wait for El Jefe, I may as well run in here. Grab the goblet before this guy can scoop it up. Big yoink. Oh, it's our healer that's actually tanking this. I guess the tank's snoozing still. You may have noticed that I have, that my holy power things light up sometimes. That's because of this talent, Divine Purpose. The reason I'm grabbing it is not because it's particularly good for Ret, but because it's the fastest way to get to Divine Toll, which is what I really want. Any day now, we'll start this boss fight. Tank is taking his time before he taunts. I guess it's kind of hard to rip aggro off a Ret Paladin dropping all their things. Reminiscent of the video I just put out of me never being able to hold aggro because I don't use Divine Toll to grab aggro. I've since learned other ways to hold aggro. Not ideal. I mean, Divine Toll is ideal to just grab aggro at the start of a pull, but I also like using it for the interrupts it provides. So bit of this, bit of that. I'm going to just accidentally pull those over there. The reason I'm pulling those is because there's a bunch of like stuff that we need for the quest over there, and it'll get people to loot those so we can stop freaking out about looting all of them. Oh nice, the tank's grabbing the extra group that patrols. That's nice. Somebody's already grabbing stuff. The best thing is there's just a bunch of these that are available to everyone, so there's I think more than enough loot, so even if somebody joins in the middle of a run, they'll have enough of these things to loot to actually get their quest. I'm just running ahead and pulling like a douchebag. Actually, I should probably not do that. I've been kicked one too many times from leveling dungeons to be doing that still. It's just that I know I won't die because I'm a Red Paladin. Red Paladins don't really die. Put a square marker. Maybe the tank shouldn't be doing that. I'll give them movement speed to go catch up with the group. But yeah, you got to channel into this thing so that the bosses start, or mini bosses start activating. Usually, I don't know, one of the DPS or a healer grabs that. I'm just going to not so sneakily walk over here and grab these untarnished silver bars. This would be my fifth one. Oh, everyone else already has them, so that's why they're not going for them. So in normal mode, which is what I'm queued into, 2 of these activate, and then the main boss activates. On heroic, all 4 of them activate, which makes it significantly slower. But the fun thing is, if you're farming just for like the mount that drops on heroic from the next boss, you can just skip this. There's nothing stopping you from just walking through the room and not activating this little thing. Pro tip for all the mount collectors out there. I'm also running Templar Strike because I just like having the on-demand holy power generation. It just feels a little bit better than having to wait for my auto attacks to go through before I have a bunch of haste and all that stuff like I will later on. And also just more holy power generation with Wake of Ashes. Monk gave tank movement speed. I'm going to give tank invulnerability to slow effects because these guys do a hamstring move. I'm going to run up to the harpooners. What I really want to do here is I want to loot these harpoons so that I know that I'm going to use them. We're going to get another harpooner to spawn over here. Oh, I can grab one of these while I wait. And then when I grab the final one, there we go. We have all 3. We wait for the boss to show up over there, and then we use these once they're there. I know. Thank you. There he is. He's on his way. I do like this barbarian transmog, actually. It doesn't really suit a paladin. It's more of a warrior thing, but I like it. There we go. We used all 3. I think it needs to be heroic for the achievement, but we'll find out, I guess. Good death grip by the tank. Grab that witch doctor over. Remove this poison. When the whirlwind comes through, I'll just use both my defensives and stand in it. It's basically more damage for yours truly. Yeah, I absorbed the full shield, the shield of vengeance, when it absorbs. The amount of damage that it absorbs, that's how much it explodes for when it expires. Or if it absorbs everything, it just explodes for the full amount of damage, which is quite a bit of damage. So it's a good damage source. If you know you're safe, let's say there's a big AoE that's coming through, and you need to absorb part of that damage. If you still have some of the shield remaining, it's a good idea to use that shield up. So if you can stand in something that does a little bit of damage, you can actually just do a bit more damage by just taking damage, which is funny, but yeah. Pro tip, I guess. We also kicked that Terrify. I think it was the Berserker that cast it. I'm not 100% sure. It's most likely the Necromancers, but we'll see. See, I talked about playing a warrior just like for half a second, and what did my brain do? My brain went and pressed the button I use to charge at the start of the fight. I was standing far away and I used the charge button, which is my mouse button 5, which is currently my Shield of Vengeance. So my brain is very much on autopilot at the moment. Oh dang, I need shiny baubles. I don't have a single shiny bauble. I guess I'll have to run through and grab some. I just keep giving the tank movement speed. So there's a stun that this boss does. I'm going to go ahead and use my human racial on the first one, and if I need to use it a second time, I'll use the whatchamacallit. I'll use my bubble. The human racial is off the global cooldown, so I can just get rid of it instantly. The bubble is on a global, so I don't want to use it like that. There go my wings. You heard a little blip. That's one of the WeakAuras I have that tracks when wings come off cooldown. It blips. It's a little reminder for me to use it. I'm going to use the bubble. It looks like it's % health based when he activates that stun. There we go. 2 levels out of the same dungeon. I like it. Picasso. But now I need baubles. I need 3 shiny baubles, so I'm going to run around and try and find those. Hopefully the group doesn't want to queue again, because then they have to wait for my dumb ass to go run around and grab that. Tank seems to also be looking for shiny baubles. Well, Tank, I'm sorry to say, but I run around faster than you do. He only needs 1, so I'll let him grab the first one we see. I can tell he only needs 1, because when I hover over this, I see his progress. Oh, I guess he teleported out and back in. He doesn't care about the baubles. Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, wait. There's a bunch of these. I could have looted them off the ground. They're just not shining. I guess I don't have that turned on in options. There's been some weird stuff going on with options where things, like some settings have just changed. And there's also the bug with joining the trades and trade services chats, which is really annoying. The outline mode. There we go. I changed the outline mode. Does that? Yeah, it doesn't make them. That's annoying as heck. Why did I do that? The bars were like lighting up for me, but these don't, which is weird. That's a giant waste of time for me now for not having noticed them. I saw them, like I saw that they were quest items on the ground, but I didn't realize that, oh, see, this one is lit up, but the other one wasn't. This is weird as heck. Anyway, let's see if we get anything good from the green box. The green boxes don't actually scale to your level. They just, whatever level you get them at, that's what level gear they'll give you. We got pants. I don't need pants because I got heirloom ones. But we have gotten Divine Toll. This is wonderful. And then next level, I get Wake of Ashes. This is perfect. At level 60, we're going to have a great time. And at level 60, I'll start doing Dragonflight dungeons, because unfortunately, it's not time walking. If it was time walking, I'd be doing time walking already, because it's just so much faster. Like, no matter which expansion of time walking it is, it's so much faster to level with time walking than it is to level with normal dungeons. Brig Small Shanks. Here you go. Junk in your trunk. Which one of these is more expensive? This one. Yes, I'll take that. Nice. It's a good chunk of EXP. I'm almost another level in. I swear 50 to 60 feels like the fastest 10 levels other than the first 10, I guess. But yeah, I'll talk to you in a Dragonflight dungeon at level 60. Level 60, which means we get to do Dragonflight dungeons, which is not all that amazing, because from 60 to 70, it's just really, really slow to do Dragonflight dungeons. Time walking is much, much faster, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Luckily, I now have my full kit. I have just about everything I want. We have Divine Toll with Divine Resonance. We have Final Reckoning. We have Wake of Ashes. We even have the dot on Wake of Ashes and the extra swings. So we're ready to do quite a bit of damage, as the details meter just showed. Every minute I can wipe out a group pretty quickly. Every half minute I can do a shit ton of damage. So yeah, pretty good. See, I already have my half minute cooldown up, and I just started fighting another pack of mobs. Things are working out quite nicely. I do also have the advantage of being level 60, so my damage is being scaled up quite a bit for some reason. I don't know why that really did that. It feels kind of like the scaling they do for fresh level 10s, just ramped up to 11. I don't know how to really explain it, but yeah, we're gonna be missing some gates, or these little the Scarfreed things, because we kind of skipped the first one that's over there at the start of the map. Usually people grab that, but this tank might be new and inexperienced, so they might not know which way to go for, to make it the quickest, which is perfectly fine. It is just a normal, so it really doesn't matter. And it gives more kill EXP, I guess, so that's also good. Okay, we got a nice little spear from the warrior. I'm not sure why, but we got it. I guess he saw casts and stuff going off, so just go to really quick. Never mind. I wanted to stun that, but it was already done doing its vicious claw angle, so there was no point. I just want to put a marker on the tank. There we go. Now I can see if he's pulling more or grabbing something, or just kind of sitting there. I'm going to hold Divine Toll for another big pull. I kind of like using it during Final Reckoning and Wings, because it just does so much damage, and it adds all those judgment debuffs, which makes the final reckoning even more worth it. The only issue is we're missing a Tuskar. I think we can grab that one over there across the little lake. I'm just going to use Wake of Ashes here. I don't need to use my full set of cooldowns because we'll be fighting the boss soon, and things die very, very quickly either way. I'm just going to run this way so the tank sees the way we need to go, because at this point, after having skipped the one group at the start, this is probably the fastest we can do. Vicious Claw Mangle coming through. I'm going to stun it. We're going to remove this disease. Maybe I should have used my cooldowns here, but I'd rather save them for the boss. I don't think I'd have them for the boss if I used them here. We have an extra Mystic that got pulled. I can't interact with the cage until we're out of combat. That's why I wasn't using it. Plus, I don't want to use it. Okay, well, now it looks like the tank wants to take us. Okay, he doesn't. Good. It looked for a second like the tank was just going to pull all these mobs, which was then defeats the purpose of having waited for them. I honestly forgot about this pack. We should have probably saved cooldowns for this pack, but oh well. Tank doesn't seem to really care, or doesn't see them. I'm gonna Wake of Ashes these. Okay, he wants to just go for the boss with these mobs. That's fine. I'm just gonna drop my cooldowns on the boss. I've been waiting with. Oh, they reset because somebody was really far away, I guess. I don't really know. That's interesting situation, that's for sure. I can't say I've seen this before. I'm gonna kick this so we don't get feared. If we get feared, somebody might even go down. There we go. Now we have to wait for the boss to reset. Handy timer from whatchamacalls, it's Bigwigs. I should adjust where these bars are. They should kind of be over here, but oh well. Not much to this boss. I'm going to focus on interrupting. Like, the damage doesn't matter, so I'll just interrupt the heal because it might be significant at this level. I'm gonna lay on hands this other paladin because the healer's not healing them the full. Until you heal them the full, that bleed doesn't go away from when the guy jumps on you. Gash Tooth or whatever the heck. I got another set of cooldowns. Time to finish these guys off. That's 1 down, 2 down, and last one to go as well. There we go. Nice. I'm going to run this way to entice the tank to run this way because going the other way is going to be a shit show. It might seem a little faster or something, but it's not. There's a bunch of hidden mobs and usually someone will die to like bleeds and stuff, so it's just better to run this way. Even though there's some annoying mobs like the Rot Slingers, it's still better to run this way. I don't know where our friend is. He just kind of ran into a bunch of mobs in the back. Kick that burst of decay. Should be switching to the decay totem, but things die quickly enough where it's not really worth singling out the decay totem. And if the tank positions close enough to the decay totem, you don't actually have to go for it specifically. I'm just going to do cleanses whenever I can, and I need to just start using my cooldowns whenever I have them instead of saving them for something specific. I feel like that's a mistake. I don't know where peeps are. I guess they're kind of running behind and not keeping up with the tank, which is not ideal. I have also switched to Crusading Strikes, so I don't actually have Templar Slash or Templar Strike or whatever the heck. I'm gonna kick that. Totem just put dots on 4 of us. I'm gonna give the tank freedom so he can get out of that snare. 3 stacks. We're gonna remove that off of the healer just to keep the healer nice and safe. I will drop all my cooldowns on the Wilted Oaks because they just take a long time to kill otherwise. And my cooldowns are short enough. I'll have them for the boss as well. Necrotic Breath can't be interrupted anymore. Okay, they're just forcing you to dodge it now and be careful where you stand. That's going to be a little bit annoying. I guess those are part of the changes that they're making for Season 4. There's also some changes in Halls of Infusion. I'm excited to see what all else they change and what numbers they tune. It's gonna be interesting. I want to get started. Tank should taunt. There we go, he did. Wonder if they did any changes to this. I've been leveling an Arms Warrior on the side and I've been running through Dragonflight dungeons on it, so I'm a little bit familiar with what goes on here. I'm gonna blind those so that they don't do the big AoE. And now I have another set of cooldowns available for El Jefe. Grasping Wines are hard to get away from. I guess, oh, well, never mind actually. This is normal, so this might not actually reflect onto how Mythic works. I don't have a way to interrupt all of those. What the heck? Where are these coming from? I would assume it's from the paladin that died by running into a bunch of mobs earlier. Just gonna taunt that Bone Crusher because he was hitting our healer. I don't want him to hit our healer. That is a lot of enemies. That is a whole lot of enemies. Let me just remove 5 stacks of the debuff from this person. There's a big oak coming as well. I'm just going to go ahead and hit them to maybe grab aggro. Okay, the tank has noticed them. Good. What a shit show. I've never seen them come over like that before. I have a full set of cooldowns here as well. I should have probably held my Wake of Ashes until I had wings up. That was a little bit of a mistake, but no big deal. The tank just decided to go to the next mob. I can respect it. I'm just going to kill this claw fighter while we're here. I'm going to remind somebody was already working on it. They seem to have reduced the size of the Violent World. Maybe I'm just zoomed out more than I usually am. But yeah, as any melee class, it's kind of a struggle to keep hitting him through that. So what you're supposed to do is just stand right at the edge and then you can still melee him with any melee range. So arms warriors, rogues, Frost DKs, Unholy DKs, whatever. You know, any melee class can still reach him, but you got to be real careful about it. Tank is running straight through the middle. This will activate a bunch of hidden mobs. It'll be a big pain in the booty hole. This, I cannot advise to do this because this is going to be a bit rough. I'm going to cleanse the tank. Luckily, I have a full set of cooldowns available here. We're going to lay on hands on the tank, make sure he survives. I'm going to bubble because the dogs are after me. I don't want to be murdered. I don't have to off heal because the healer has finally caught up. I feel like there's still some enemies. Yeah, there's still a slime coming over. What the heck, man? When I hit that slime and keep moving, because we don't want to pull that group that's next to the slime right now. Okay, we're good. I can go on to the next boss. I'm trying to use my Divine Steed, but I don't have a charge. Okay, I think we're good now. I'm gonna Wake of Ashes and a Divine Toll here. My cooldowns keep kind of desyncing because I don't have much haste, it feels like. 28%, it's more than I thought I had, to be honest with you. Okay, my buddy here is, oh, I don't have that. Never mind. I wanted to give him Blessing of Freedom, but I can't because I used it just a little bit ago. New hyenas are coming in. They're coming in from the bridge, so I'm standing in a safe spot. Yeah, there you go. There they are. I have wings up, so we Wake of Ashes and finish the job. A little bit messy, but I think it's because the paladin's new, hasn't done it before, so he just kind of ran into some mobs while trying to get to us. After he ran into some mobs and died while he was trying to get to us. The healer says go big while we have a caster casting at us and nobody's kicking it other than me. I'm just going to stun this so we don't get the swirlies and I'll go join the big pull. I don't have cooldowns, but I will soon. I'm going to drop a bop on this person. I'm going to sack the tank and I'm going to use a defensive as well. This is the kind of babysitting we need to do. I'm going to use Blinding Light to interrupt those two swirlies. I'm going to dispel myself. Hopefully that's enough. Kick that. Make sure I kick the fear, otherwise we're all going to go down. People are kind of running through each other and giving each other diseases. Is this what COVID is like in-game? I need to cleanse myself. Maybe I should cleanse someone else, I guess. That would have probably been a better call so that they don't run into each other. I need to cleanse the paladin because the paladin keeps running into other people. And then I'm going to cleanse the tank before the paladin can run into the tank. There we go. Okay. I was just trying to get rid of those diseases because that circle, if you step on someone with that circle, it's going to give them the disease as well. So I wanted to make sure I cleanse all of those. So this dungeon's a bit of a pain in the ass if you don't have anyone who can dispel diseases. So like resto druids, resto shamans, they're going to struggle to heal in here, or the group might have a bit of a struggle. I'm going to dispel myself here and then I can walk back in wherever. I keep not using Divine Toll. That's a mistake. I need to just use Divine Toll more. I don't want to use it now. Okay, I guess we're pulling the boss while everyone's standing in the wrong spot. This tank's gonna give me conniptions. I'm gonna drop all my cooldowns on the boss. Tank took 2 stacks of that dot by standing in the circle. Tank also accidentally positioned correctly, so we have time to hit this. There we go. There's still something in there casting at us. I'm gonna try and get a kick on it. That will make it move into melee, so maybe more people can hit it. Never mind, we're gonna stun it so it doesn't do these swirlies at us. There's another totem. I am going to switch to the totem and use both my defensives here. I don't think I'll need another set of defensives. Kick this, keep it moving. There we go. Now the tank could maybe potentially take aggro. We're going to Blinding Light to prevent that cast from going off. It would be nice if somebody else actually kicked it once, but oh well, what can you do? Should have saved my Blinding Light for that, but I can also just murder it. I'm going to ignore this Rot Bursting Totem because we're almost done killing the boss, and that should be it. There we go. I can't even bubble this. That's annoying. I have to just sit here and puke, apparently. Projectile vomiting. The best CC. Anyway, I guess I'll talk to you when I'm 70. I think I'll do, like, I'll fully commentate the dungeon in which I hit level 70. So that should be fair. So see you then. And this should be our final dungeon of Dragonflight normal mode dungeons. I have had quite a few runs so far. I'm just gonna pull this, stun it, and kill it so that we don't activate any of these statues in the middle. But yeah, it's been a hell of a few dungeons. It takes a while to level with Dragonflight normal dungeons, and it's also there's quite a few new people, let's put it that way. Quite a few new people trying tank for the first time without really understanding what a tank is supposed to do in a group. So that's been a bit challenging to get through. I've had to resort to basically just tanking myself as a red paladin because tanks would oftentimes just not hold aggro, and when it did hold aggro it'd be on a mob or two, and then, you know, straight back to no more aggro. It's been a troubling few dungeons, but I managed to get through. This tank seems to know what's going on, at least, so that's a breath of fresh air, a fresh of breath air. Yes, everything seems to be melting. We have a rogue that's probably level 70 with that much HP. I would assume they are. If not, I want to know what kind of crack they're smoking. Let me take a look-see. Yeah, they're level 70. They got some purples on them, veteran gear. So this should be fairly quick of a run with the rogue kind of ripping everything to shreds. We don't actually have to wait here. We can just, you know, kill this and move through. There you go. I don't want to use Wake of Ashes on it or anything like that. I just want to, you know, do my thing. Stunning it is safer than trying to one-shot it and risk failing and activating all the mobs. This is annoying because I've been crushing the damage department, and then of course the one final run that I do has a rogue that's just going to crush me because they're 70 and I'm not. Big sad. But oh well, I can press all my buttons and maybe then I do some damage. That did the trick. Giving freedom to the tank because we're all rooted here. Wait, I'm like a little Naga. Look at me go. I'm so tiny. What the hell? Sluggish Adoration. Oh, okay. So I'm tiny and cute, so it makes them slow. Yeah, I've seen that debuff before. Gonna step out of that because I think that's the big ass root. This rogue is just ripping everything to shreds every pull. I can only do it when I have my cooldowns ready. Big bummer. But yeah, I've been also, while I wait in the ridiculously long queues because I decided to just stay ret the entire time instead of just going prot so I can speed up the leveling. In the ridiculously wrong queues, in the ridiculously long queues, I've been farming up these Whelpling Dreaming Crusts. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to craft myself 447 gear as soon as I'm 70. I've also gotten about 15,000 gold from just leveling. I haven't sent myself any gold or anything like that. So I have quite a bit of gold and I can probably craft all 13 items that I need to craft, which is, you know, weapon, every slot of armor, and one ring and a necklace and a cloak. That's 13 items total. It's 14 if you have a one-hander or an offhand, or two one-handers or two two-handers, I guess, if you're Fury or something. But yeah, I'm gonna give freedom to the tank so that we can get out of here. And I've been put to sleep. I'm just gonna bubble. I don't expect the healer to actually cleanse me. They never have, so I won't bother waiting for it. Bit of a bummer that they removed some of the pretty much every skip that you can do in here, except for one where you drop from up here to down there, I think, or down here. I'm not sure exactly, but there's like a drop you can do, but you really need something to break your fall, or a battle res, or something, a soul stone. I'm not sure how it goes, but many a friend of mine showed me that it is possible. And I was playing on my warrior and I jumped down and I thought I had heroic leap available. I did not have heroic leap available. I hit the ground like a sack of bricks. It was embarrassing. Okay, we are shrouding and soothing this. Very interesting. This is like a M+ run, although I'm clearly being boosted by the rogue, unfortunately, because that rogue just like two-shot the boss. Big sad. I didn't want it to end like this, but honestly, I'm just glad it's over, because like I said, Dragonflight dungeons take a long time. Oh, I'm never gonna get cleansed, am I? Can I just get hit by something? Oh, the taking damage doesn't remove it? That's so stupid. No one's having it removed, but I guess with the rogue also being polymorphed, nothing's dying either. That's funny. There we go. I guess I'll give the rogue movement speed. The tank's a demon hunter, so they're pretty quick either way. I'm just going to use my cooldowns while there's something to use cooldowns on. Never mind, the rogue's already killed that too. I guess this is how others felt while I was breaking necks with the Red Paladin. I really want to avoid pulling or stepping into that polymorph thing again, because the healer's just going to stare at us again and not dispel anything. Hopefully nobody gets body slammed off of the... Okay, nobody did. Nice. I have a feeling this boss will die before he goes into the middle with his little intermission where he doesn't take damage. I'm just gonna save cooldowns for last boss. Rogue can probably handle this. Yep. Rogue absolutely obliterated it. 121k DPS. I did less than tank damage that pull because I didn't use my cooldowns, but I'm hoping to use cooldowns now. Oh, the rogue. Oh, no. Oh, if only somebody could CR the rogue. Maybe I get to do some damage now. Maybe the druid CRs them. I'm going to act like I forgot about it so that I can actually do some damage for once. That's such a gamer move. I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move, where I don't battle res the teammate that's been doing very, very well so that I can do very, very well. Nah, screw it. Let's CR the rogue. There we go. And the rogue can then finish off the boss. And there we go. And that should be level 70. Yes, it is. Thank... Ooh. I was gonna say thank... Well, now I did say thank... Anyway. Danny's quacking in the background. Yes, I will quack it out. It's fine. But yes, that's level 70 on the Paladin. Quite happy about that. I am absolutely ready to be done with Dragonflight normal dungeons, which is funny because that's all we're going to be doing in the next season, but it's not next season yet. It's not next season yet, which I would like it to be, because end of season dungeon runs are going to be interesting, especially now that I'm going to be doing it with the lowest rated people that apply to my group. group. Yes, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm only going to be inviting the people that have the absolute worst rating of the people that apply to the group. Of course, if there's only a few people applying, then I will just invite the people that did apply. But if I have any choice in the matter, I will choose the person with the lowest rating, including the lowest rating on their main. So if someone's 0 rating but has a 3K main, I'm basically going to ignore them in favor of someone who's 2K rated. And I think that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to spend my last talent point here. There we go. I think I did something wrong in this build. I think I should have another point in here in Blades of Light, but I don't really care. I'll double check on my main and make sure that everything's in order. I don't think it makes a big difference because this just makes it do holy strike damage, which makes it, I believe, scale with mastery instead of not scaling with mastery, because as it is right now, this already does holy damage. Huh. What's the point of this talent? I should look into that. As someone who mains Red Paladin, I should probably understand what that talent does. But I guess it just feeds into this talent, so maybe it's not that useful, but I've seen people take this. Anyway, why am I analyzing this at the end of this video? I don't know. I truly could not tell you. But what are my next steps? I'm going to probably, without recording it, do the quest line for whatchamacallits for the Emerald Dream, so that I get the quest where I do probably LFR, maybe normal, I don't know, and just get myself the completion reward, which is the Enchanted Worms Shadow Flame crest, and then I'm going to craft probably a weapon with that, and I'm going to craft 447 gear by, like I said, using Whelpling's Dreaming crests. I explained how to do this in one of my mage episodes in the mage series, but that's pretty much the end of this episode. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, let me know what you liked about it in a comment. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you can become a channel member. Channel members get guaranteed replies to their comments, as well as nice little shoutouts like as Ian as it gets got today. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.